The decision making process. Welcome to the today's presentation. We will discuss each steps of decision making. Primarily six steps that we I would love to concentrate and instill in the mind of the audience how to go about with the decision making steps. Now, first and foremost is Sitna. Sitna is what the is defined. What does it mean? It means situation that needs attention. Again, I repeat, Sitna. Situation that need attention is where we come to discuss decision or arrive to a decision. Phrases and term coined by John Jones. Reframing a problem as a sitna helps remove negative connotation we place on the problem. Every time I say a problem or an issue, it has a negative connotations. Definitely yes. But if I say there is a situation that needs attention, probably there are no negative, even if there are no positive things, it's a very neutral statement. Sitna is a very neutral statement. Now, what are the problem areas or what are the situations that needs attention when you have a complaint or when you are being challenged or where there is a requirement to improve or where there is an opportunity and where we find there's a gap in performances. So there are five modalities in an organizational setting, in a corporate setting, where sitna happens or problem arises, a situation that needs attention is because of complaint, challenges, improvement requirement, opportunity, performance gap. This is what sitna is all about it. We will talk about sitna in the particular presentation and I'll give you the six steps thereby. Remember, problem solving is the one type of decision making. Definitively, yeah. Yes, every time decision making comes around it, it means we are talking about problem. Every time we are talking about solving a problem, that means we have to come to arrive to a decision that is there. Now, Blancard and Gottry pointed out what they say there are the four categories of daily activities that we face. Number one is things we want to do and have to do. So probably these are mandatory things that we are talking around it. Number two, things we have to do but we don't want to do. These are things that we have to go through the motions every now and then, despite the fact that we are either too lethargic or we don't enjoy doing them, but we have to do it. So, number three would be things you want to do but don't have to do. There are certain pleasure points, there are certain things that we all aspire to do, probably go for a long drive, but we don't have to do it because there are no requirements. Either there is a constraint in term in the form of an effort or time, and so on and so forth. Despite the requirement or the need that we want to do it, we just cannot fulfill it. Things, the fourth one, as far as is things we don't want to do and we don't have to do. Definitely, yes. None of us would like to take responsibilities, more responsibilities, and huge responsibilities. So we don't want it and we don't have to. Probably we are all happy in our comfort zone or the status quo that has been mentioned. So things we want to do and have to do, things we have to do but don't want to do, things we want to do but don't have to do, and things we don't want to do and don't have to do is what Blanket and Godfrey points out. So prioritizing, yes, probably that's most important. Now we can prioritize things into three categories altogether. Yes is the first category. Want to do and have to do. Have to do but don't want to do. Yes, definitely yes. In priority number one, this is what we comes around it. Want to do and have to do, all we are enjoying it. Have to do but we don't want to, but probably it's a part of our responsibility, it's part of our expectation, so we keep on fulfilling it. The third priority is want to do but don't have to do. It is someone when the example that I say I want to go on a long drive, not every day that I can go around it, probably on weekends, probably on a holidays or a vacation I fulfill it. So there is a maybe clause around it. And then the fourth one, the least prioritized one, is we don't want to do it and don't have to do it. So personal decision making is time management vis-a-vis life management. Remember, time management is a decision making process. Effective personal decision making requires effective time management. However, efficient scheduling and controlling of time can be counterproductive. Now, this is what we are talking about it in terms of time, wherein your life, your professional life, your personal life happens within 24 hours a day, and that is what everybody has limitations to. Nobody has 25 hours a day or 23 hours a day. So time management is pivotal. It is effective decision making, means utilizations of the time in the most proper and optimum fashion. So that is what we are looking around it. So personal decision is an efficiency focus. What does it mean? That means we all want to have a meaningful, rich relationship. Our ability to enjoy the moment is most important. If we organize and execute our priorities, the focus is to preserving and enhancing relationship. Accomplishing result is what we look into it. Life management is decision making, and life management is managing ourselves. This is what we look out here. Efficiency focus may be limiting to the development of rich relationships, ability to enjoy the moment thereby. This is what we are looking every now and then. Let us understand the time management matrix, importance of personal vision or mission, personal goals that we talk around it. Now, here is what we are talking about, your priorities vis-a-vis your time. Covey's time management matrix helps you to understand how to manage ourselves, how to build our lives, how to construct and lead a meaningful life. His concepts are based on urgency and importance. Urgency means absolutely now, important means pertaining to the result. So goal has to be the Q2% or quadrant 2% that goes around it in the time matrix management that comes around as far as Covey's things are concerned. Let us understand Covey's quarter two matrix, not urgent but important. Urgent and importantly, absolutely to be done out here, not to be prioritized, but they are. See, when I say urgent and important, it means time and objective. Not urgent means less of a time. Time is not so important, but the objectives, the goals are very important. Urgent means definitely as of now, but they are not important. But what is the end objective? You are to go with your relationship problems. Probably you have to service them and so on and so forth. So they might not be that important, but they are important. They might be urgent to look into it, and it takes a very fiscal amount of time. Similarly, not urgent and non important, neither on the time wise or objective wise. Examples of an urgent and important are crisis, pressing issues, problems, deadline driven projects, wherein there are quadrant two is not urgent but definitely important is prevention. If you are not servicing your car for that matter, it's important but not urgent. You will do it next week or probably next month. Relationship building, planning, recreation, worthwhile or not so. So these are important to mend your relationships and mend the ways you carry yourself. And then in the quadrant three is urgent but definitely not that important. Let's say interruptions in the form of a mail, a phone call, some meeting, proximate meeting issues, pressing issues. You encounter an old colleague of yours, old classmate of yours, somebody known to you, not related to the work, definitely. So those are urgent but probably not important. And then there are neither important nor urgent works. Let's just trivia work, busy work, some mails, phone call, time waste, pleasant activities, and so on and so forth. This is what I say called time management matrix based on the four quadrant that comes around it. Remember, in the first thing I said yes, maybe, and no. Now I am giving you another perspective of four quadrant that comes around it. So moving from individual to team, now let us try to move from your personal life to the professional life. Teams, remember, a composition of individuals. Some individuals are hardy, they work very hard, strong, put in their effort. They are concentrated with their times and they are looking at the end objective. These are the people who are resilient. These are the people who sees problems as a challenge or an opportunity. Some individual demonstrate self-efficacy. Who are you? Now the question is, who are you? How do you map yourself within the team? On a fully functional team, most of us, if not all, individually demonstrate these traits. This is what we are looking into it. In case these are not being demonstrated by the team will not be very functional. In fact, in longer term, it will become dysfunctional. So we have to have a productive team consists of individual members who are working very hard, who are resilient, who are focused, who are obsessed, who demonstrate a self-efficacy in the longer run. A fully functional team will work together successfully. Yes, did I say yes in the previous slide also? Solve problem, reach decision in a way that incorporates individual inputs, may reach decision through consensus, adapt to changes, achieve or exceed desired result. That is what we are looking at it. This is what we are finding ways to go around here. We can do a lot of things, number of times every now and then. So working together, achieving or exceeding desired result is the desired functional things. Team and decision making. A team has a purpose, a vision of where it is heading, a picture of the desired result. The question is, which path do we take? Decision making is an art of choosing and probably implementing a solution from the identifiable situation that needs attention. So without vision, without decision making, there is absolutely anarchy. There is no leadership at all, no need for leadership. That is what even Thomas Harvey says around here. We need to understand this thing time and again, every now and then. So, decision making is an art of choosing and implementing a solutions to the identifiable set. Now, writing time, please print in your name for lunch and dinner at the top by three to into four cards and a big placard. You'll time your name and your lunch or dinner at the top, thinking about decision you recently reached while a part of a team, as in what exactly required. Now, what I'm seeing about writing a placard is your note, in your, even in your notepad, on your scrapbook, whatever you want to go around it, your objectives, your time, your it can be any of the works. If you give, write your names, write the work, and write the deadline time or the time to commence. This will help you to navigate through the busy schedule of your day. Draw the diagram, list the steps, show the process, and briefly explain each of them step by step to your team members. Be be visualizing. Nowadays, everybody would love to visualize things appropriately, and this helps them in mitigating the problem. So we can always ask you for you to share a decision making steps. So what are we looking at it? We should be talking about the various decisions that comes around it. Did I say decisions which requires urgent and important is all which is commanding? It is commanding attention, your attention in the first place. But probably situations or decision that is not important, neither urgent. It is at the leisure or the luxury of your time, at your own convenience, address them. So it is absolutely at your own convenience time. But when there are people, where there are decisions which might not be urgent or which might be urgent, but are definitely very important. So this is the process where you can delegate or consult the decisions altogether, where you can take the help of somebody else. But when there are people where are decision which is neither not urgent at all but are definitely important, probably you are not able to enact upon the decision. So that is where you can go for consensus problems, consensus decision. Take it with the help of a group. Here, refer it with in consultation, refer with someone. Convenience, do it at your own cost, at your own sweet time. Come on, do it by yourself altogether. So types of decision and types of enactment that comes around it, be it command, convenience, consultation, and consensus. This is what we are looking at the end of the day as to what can be done and what should be done. Team consensus will both consultations and consensus let people know upfront what their thoughts will be used for. They need to know that these are important objective wise, but probably we can defer it as far as time constraint is concerned. So they are not urgent time wise, but important objective wise. So keys to the consensus, everybody needs to understand the issue. Everyone expresses an opinion. Everyone can live with the decision. This is of prime importance. This keys to consensus is all about it. We arrive to a team consensus every now and then. Practical decision making, the sixth step that I have been promising you, will talk about the consensus decision making. It is the group decision, the only group decision that comes around it. We'll talk about the six steps. Remember, the six steps are mindset, problem definition, solution and criteria, possible solutions, solution choices, the alternatives that we are talking about it, and the implementation thereof. We will identify and analyze all of them in the subsequent slide, right from mindset to implementation, right from problem definition to the choice of alternatives, right from the selection criteria to the possible alternatives thereby. So let's say the step number one has been discussed is mindset. This is where you talk and don't solve. What do you talk? You talk to build camaraderie, you talk to build trust, you talk to define the problem, where is all about sitna, situation that needs attention. Situation that needs attention is all about thinking and discussing what the problem, how to mitigate the problem. It is everything to do with the problem. So we need to talk about the resources, what is to be needed. Then we'll put organizational context altogether. This is where we will contextualizing in terms of what are our strengths and weaknesses as an organization is all about it. The circumstances, the settings, the vision, the values, the toxicity, and how will it benefit or affect the organization in a negative fashion. Does it do it? Is it urgent? Is it important? You need to come up with a mindset out here, and I am trying to define the problem and define the problem in the mind of the people for the consensus decision making, the people context. How do people feel around it? Now, what there might be ethical issues associated with certain problem. Is the problem ethical? Is the problem political? Is the problem of will issue or a skill issue? So this is where the people contextualization needs to be taken place. Then comes decision making contextualization. What types of decision making is needed? The given resources, legal and other parameters, that is of vital importance that comes around it. Step number two is the problem definition. Now we need to discuss the problem in clarity. Keep this step as short as possible, because if we elongate the definitions of problem, you might end up having creating a monster of a problem out of nothing. So be very precise. The new venture, the choice, the non-reactive, new vision and goals that we talk around it. The shortfall, existing conditions is all about gap, the desired condition, why, and the causes thereby. So if there are any gaps, there are any shortfall, there are problems, there are complaints in a particular area, that is what will tell it to you. The definition of the problem is all about it. What are we trying to addressing is something which have been going around it. When you have decided upon what, then comes with the final question of why, and do not elongate a problem definition beyond these two questions. And why is the reason of what the problem is all about it. Find the reason and eliminate the reason. So that is where the improvement is all about it. Existing condition and new expectation, the new process requirement, all the solutions and opportunity. Why is it an opportunity? So step number one being mindset. Step number two is the problem definition. Yes, we are on the right track with step number three. Step number three is building consensus. Not even one person should have a different opinion about the problem. 100% consensus will mean 100% cooperation from all the employees. That means the chances of achieving success is almost 100%. It will not cost more than a fixed amount of money. So what do we talk around it? We talk about three things: needs, wants, and nice to. Now what is needs? Must have reached a decision. This is a must thing, must. You have to come to a decision. It is the only priority sector, it is the only parameter that cannot be negated. Once it would help these also. Probably there might be certain other benefactors to the problem solutions altogether. It is desirable but not a necessity. The first thing, needs are a must thing, is a of paramount importance. In wants, it is all you should be desiring about it. Then comes a nice to. It is a perk, probably it is optional, purely optional, and perk which might be required, might not, but might be appreciated, might not be required, but will be appreciated, such as a bonus. So you need to understand between need, wants, and nice to. This step is critical to remove the emotion politics. The top three criteria of decision making steps are the mindset. We have been talking about the mindset till the solution criteria. I hope I'm very clear with the mindset, the problem solving or defining the problem, and the solution criteria. Before we go to the bottom three steps of the 6-step process of decision making, there is what we call about the probable alternatives or possible solution. If natural solution is 3A, B, C, then generate 2.5 times as many, at least 8 of this example. Now, what are we talking about here is problem solutions to everything. When we discuss it on a larger scale of people, number of heads that I'm talking about it, different perspective creeps in, different point of views are put forward, and this is a window of opportunity that opens up altogether. Remember, of the opportunities that I'm talking about, some may be actually be silly, very, very childish, but beyond silly might be a genius that comes around it. Beyond, if you analyze the thing, it might actually be an eye opener to you. So clarify the very first step, get the ideas out. Please please encourage people to come forward with how, no matter what kind of silly option that they are thinking about it, get the ideas about and try to elongate those ideas, dissect those ideas, clarify them, combine if required some of these ideas to enhance an option or solution, possible solution. So basically, we are coming with multiple solutions this time. If we can make a concotations of certain options they've been there, document them, generate a list of possible solution to the final form. Is the possible solution that comes around it. The last two steps is all about the choice of solution, comparing all possible solution with the solution criteria generated in the step 3. Therein, now is the time when you decide what is the best solution. Is it the one that satisfies all the needs, the most of the wants? It may have some nicest tools. Remember, nice tools are always optional. Most of the ones are the needs are the must thing and the wants are the should have things. So that is what the solution choice is all about. It may have certain negative consequences too. So for these negative consequences, I am sure that you are going to build a consensus with the team with respect to the choice of solution that you are going to adapt and implement. Talking of implementation is the last step, which we do about with an action step altogether. Doing it and inspecting it is nothing but enacting upon your whatever you have discussed and decision making. So let us understand how do you structure meeting. Remember, we're talking about the decision making process. So have a proper norms, proper agenda, have assigned responsibilities, being a facilitator, recorder, timekeeper, process, observer, maybe facilities and material persons and a snack provider. Anything, it can be assigned responsibility. Rotate responsibilities as to why. Report using group memo rather than minutes. Use formal structuring devices that comes around it. That is what we are looking at the end of the day. Have a particular norms, having a proper agenda, facilitating what you are looking at it. Use of structuring devices, techniques to help an individual understand the issues, offer their thoughts and opinion, reduce emotion, stress and politics, stay on track, on time, and move towards the decision time and again. These are the techniques that will actually help you as an individual to understand the problem, to understand the situation that needs attention, offer your thoughts, offer your opinions, be realistic, be optimistic, but never be emotional, never been drawn up into negative energies. Stay on track, be on time. Techniques for ordering how the people decide. They are all around their behaviors. It has to be constructed in and around their behaviors. Each step in decision making model has a menu of structuring device from which to choose from. We come to the very last slide for the day. We don't have enough time to do it right, but we always have time to do it over. So we can always begin fresh. Always remember this, and that is the very beauty of decision making process. With this, I come to an end of this presentation. I am sure most of you will benefit from this video. Thank you for watching it.